Hi everybody. I have just arrived back home from LA and from my weekend at IMATS, and it was my first experience. It was my very first time going, and I have so much to share with you guys. I asked on Instagram earlier this morning, what do you guys want to see? Do you guys want to see strictly a haul on what I got? And or do you want to see kind of like the experience and what it was like, for me at least? And a lot of you said both. So this video will be all about my experience. Starting off by giving you a little bit, just a tiny bit of a background story. Every year, it's normally in the summertime, IMATS. From what I remember, it's always like June or July or something like that. Last year they switched it to January, which is amazing because it's a slower season at work and I can get off of work. But since I can't go home for Christmas, I always go home in January to visit my family. So last year it landed on the exact week that we already had bought our tickets to go home and see our family. So the entire time that I was in Miami, IMATS was going on and I was tortured. Let me tell you, I was so tortured. I wanted so badly to be there, but I got to go this year. I made sure it was a priority and that I put everything else off until I got to go to IMATS this year. IMATS is held at the Pasadena Convention Center in California. Aside from the actual IMATS, the Westin Hotel is where we stayed at, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love staying at Westins for the most part. I've only had one bad experience with them, and it's the one in Maui, so I'll never stay there again, and it happened twice. So I'm sure a bunch of you guys had saw the tweets and everything that was happening as it was happening. But I definitely recommend staying at the Westin if your budget allows when you're there, because you're not even a whole block. It's like you come out of the hotel, you go around the corner, and the convention center is like right there. So it's really, really convenient, and it's a really nice hotel. It's a little bit on the pricier side. It was like $218 for us, and we booked early. My friends actually ended up paying like $3 something a night. But yeah, I was very happy to be staying right around the corner. They have a shuttle that takes you to the convention center, and then you get a phone number and you call them when you're ready to get picked up, and they come and get you. Or you can walk. Only reason why we chose to take the shuttle was it was 6:30 in the morning and we were not dressed for the occasion. So regardless, we'll get to that in a minute. You can either walk, you can drive, or you can take the shuttle. Anyway, Pasadena this time of year, beautiful. I didn't even need a jacket. It was great. Before going to IMATS, I had given myself a budget of $500, and even that sounded so excessive to me. I kept telling myself, why would I need to spend $500? Do you know how many makeup, well, not even just makeup, but do you know how many things I have in this room right now that I have bought and I haven't even opened yet? Inside my IKEA tall drawer that I have with all the things in it, there's at least 8 or 9 handfuls of the MAC mineralized eyeshadows that I bought because I swatched them in the store and they're beautiful, and I've never even used them. Let alone all the pigments on the pigment rack, let alone all of the stuff from the MAC haul that I just uploaded before I left, let alone all of the hair tools that I've bought over time. Haven't even used them all. So I just couldn't fathom using $500 or actually spending that much money at IMATS. But yeah, it kind of happened. So when we got there on Thursday night, we just kind of hung out in the hotel and didn't really do anything. It was really, really late. Devin and I just wanted to watch movies and eat something and then go to bed. I wanted to try and flip my schedule over so that I wouldn't be night owl anymore, because that's what my body is set to, is night owl for work. It was so difficult to swap though. I couldn't fall asleep till like 3 or 4 in the morning. And then the very next morning we drove all the way to LA, like West Hollywood area, so we can go to Disney. And we had to get up super early for that. So I was literally on like maybe 4 hours of sleep. And we went to Disney all day long, and then we checked in later on that night into the hotel in Pasadena. We stayed in West Hollywood the first night. We stayed at Lamont Suites or Lamont Suites, something like that. Not the best of neighborhoods, and for the price, I was just kind of like, don't know if I would stay here again. So then we went to Disney all day. After Disney, we drove to Pasadena. We checked into our hotel. We just kind of chilled. I can't remember exactly what we did Friday night. Anyway, we tried to call it an early night because we knew we had to get up super early for IMATS. So everybody else went to bed, and I was again up till 3:30. I could not fall asleep, and I had to. My alarm was set for 6:40 because it opens at 8. From what I've heard, there's a line wrapped around all the way to the back of like the residential area. Like there's the convention center, then there's like streets and shops, and then there's homes. And from what I heard, the line was wrapped all the way down to the homes. So I set my alarm for 6:30, and then when my alarm went off, I thought I was going to die. Like my body, everything was shaking. My head felt so dizzy. I was like, you know what? Not gonna make it at 8. Just, it's not gonna happen. So I set my alarm again, and this time I woke up at, what time did I wake up? I woke up at 8:15. Hair and makeup, I tried to do like super extensive, beautiful makeup because I'm representing myself as a makeup artist. I didn't want to show up there barefaced with my hair in a bun like I normally would and have everybody be like, what, who, why, who let her in? So I wanted to look pretty. I curled my hair and everything. Oh, that's what I did Friday night. That took me forever. After Disney, I came back to the hotel room. I washed my hair, straightened my hair, and then curled my hair. Don't even get me started. It was ridiculous. So, yeah, I tried to look pretty. I wore a dress. Never again, like a maxi, like a strapless maxi, and the dress was dragging on the floor. I was wearing flip-flops because my feet hurt so bad from the night before at Disney, but I thought that the long dress would cover my feet, and the flip-flops ended up starting to irritate me. It hurt so bad. I was pissed. I brought my big Neverfull tote from Louis Vuitton so that I can stick all my little bags inside that one big bag, and I wouldn't leave bags like setting them down and then losing them. So I brought that big tote. That was a smart idea. I was glad that I did that, and I probably will do that again next year. But it was a very heavy bag at the end of all of it. And since Devin was at the hotel, like right down the corner, I was like calling him, and I was like, please, 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 please. My arms and my shoulders are killing me from holding so much weight between my my tote and another humongous bag that I had that I couldn't fit in the tote. So I said, please come collect all of this stuff from us, and we will continue shopping. So Devin came and grabbed all of the bags from me and my girlfriend Marisol, who came with me, and we just continued to shop and continued to do as normal what we were going to do. That was a good, smart idea. If you're going to go to IMATS, I do recommend taking a really big tote or a beach bag or something that you can stick all of your stuff in, so you don't have 100 bags like ripping your skin apart and everything like that. Anyway, so getting back to the time, so we left and we didn't actually get there after doing hair and makeup and eating and everything. We didn't actually even get there until 10:30. And when we walked up to the convention center, there was no line. Everything was gone. We went straight up to the desk. We showed them that we had the 2-day pass. They gave us a purple wristband, which we couldn't take off for the entire weekend. They said, if we lose that wristband or take it off, then we're screwed. So we went right in, walked right in, and the minute that we walked in, I noticed that there was a line coming out through the double doors to get into the IMATS Convention Center. There was like a line wrapped around. And I was like, dude, is this a line to get in? Like, what is this? And when I looked up past the doors, it was the Sigma booth literally wrapped around the entire convention. It was insanity. We went up to a few people because that was one of the stops that we both wanted to make, and we asked some of the people that were kind of towards the front of the line about to like buy product, and we're like, out of curiosity, how long did you guys wait? And they're like, about an hour and 45 minutes, maybe even 2 hours. I don't know, we kind of like lost track. And I was like, okay. Yes, the savings would have been worth it. But at that point, we had just walked in. It was already super late. We didn't want to spend our entire day there in line. So we opted to leave it for Sunday instead. There was not even a way for you to look at their products. In order for you to even look at the brushes and stuff like that, you were supposed to get in line. However, there were gaps in between the crowd of people buying stuff that you could kind of peek over and decide what you wanted. And they had a big tall poster that had everything that they were selling listed on there, and they had a sticker over anything that was sold out. That was cool, because you would get into that line for 2 hours, and by the time you got to go pay, it would be sold out and you would want to kill yourself. Let me tell you that story later. So that was kind of neat that they were telling people what was sold out before they got up there. Their savings were amazing. If you did purchase one of their brush sets, you saved at least $150. It was a huge savings, and it was totally worth it for somebody who wants to start their brush set and kit. So in that aspect, I really did wish that I made it to there, but I ended up not making it to the Sigma booth because it was a 2 hour and a half, 2 hour wait the entire weekend. So, after walking in and seeing that, and I was kind of scared, I was like, is everything like that? You walk in, all the booths are set up and decorated like their company. Sugar Pill was like the first thing you saw when you went through the double doors, and their booth is adorable. Everything is like candy pink and like these plastic signs that say Sugar Pill, and it's all like acrylic with it was just a beautiful counter. A lot of the counters had posters up and stuff on tables that kind of were decorative, but for sure, the Sugar Pill counter was the most elaborate and the most beautiful, just like eye-catching of all of it. It was gorgeous. So we made our way. The first thing I wanted to do, the very first thing I wanted to do was I wanted to run to Lime Crime and get the chartreuse, something like that. Their neon yellow eyeliner. That's the first thing that I wanted. And when we got to the Lime Crime thing, the line was wrapped through the hallways and back around through other people's booths, and people were shoving, and they had security telling people where they could stand and where they couldn't stand because the lines were blocking the paths for people to walk. It was crazy. And I just decided that for an eyeliner, one eyeliner is all I wanted. And I went up to the lady that was standing there kind of directing the traffic, but she was also with Lime Crime. I said to her, I was like, hey, do you guys still have this eyeliner? She goes, don't know. Oh, okay, so I guess I'll just get in that hour-long line and pray for the best for one eyeliner. It was very disappointing to have that kind of response from somebody. I've never shopped at Lime Crime before. I've never tried a product before. This was my very first time coming in contact with Lime Crime. So I was very disappointed with that being my very first experience with that company. After that, we decided not to stand in the line, and we just decided to start from the beginning and start up against the back wall and make our way all around the convention. So the first few things we did was the eyelashes. They had a bunch of Ardell lashes, super cheap, and we just stocked up on everything that we could. We made our way around the place, but it was kind of overwhelming. So there were spots that we kind of skipped because we were running to another spot that we thought we would want like fast, and it was dizzying. Dizzying, is that a word? It was in one phrase, overwhelming. It really was. So I was like, you know what, let's grab some food, replenish ourselves, and we'll decide from there how we want to continue. So we went to their little concession stand, which was really not up to par when you're going to be at a place like that that's so much time and effort. I would expect a little bit more options for food, but literally they had a cooler with drinks and pizza that was super dried out sitting underneath the hot lamp for a long time, burgers, and I believe hot dogs. And I don't remember there being anything else, to be honest with you. It was not the best of choices, and I was starving and I just wanted anything, so I got the pizza that was sitting underneath the hot lamp, and it was not very good. After all of that, I got a text message from I Want to See One Video Beth, and I went to meet up with her. I took pictures of her. That's on my Instagram. I was super excited to finally meet her in person. After talking to her for years via YouTube and text message, she is the absolute sweetest. She's gorgeous, and she's so sweet, and she's, oh, I love that. I have a love for that girl. I tell you, okay, let's just put it that way. I loved her, and she was super sweet, and I wanted to hang out with her more, but she was in the middle of running off to go either get something done or something, because she had like full costume on kind of, and she looked really hot too. So moved on from that and went on to the next thing, and once we got to that next booth, we were both kind of like just overwhelmed, and we told the boys that were waiting for us, we're like, we're just gonna meet up with you guys again and leave. So we got a little bit of shopping done that first day, but we didn't go absolutely crazy. Oh, let me tell you that last part of the first day. We got in the Anastasia Beverly Hills, the brow company. We got in their line, and we wanted to get the brow dip. That was the thing that I really wanted the most out of IMATS, other than the eyeliner, which was a huge deal for me because I wanted to try it out, but I thought they would be sold out. But the brow dip was definitely the highlight thing that I wanted. So we get in the line. The line wasn't terrible at all. It was maybe a 20-minute line. It looked really long, like a lot of people, but it moved fast. And they had a very, very small booth, but they had like 5 people taking care of you. They even had one lady walking around selling you their contour palette that I guess is their most prized item, or what they were selling the most of. She was walking around with a stack of them, and she was telling people, if you want one, if you have exact change, give it to me and here's your product. So you didn't have to wait in that line, which was great. I think that's so awesome. I just wish they would have done that for the brow dip also, but it's okay. Complicates things, I get it. She also walked around with swatches on her arm of the brow dip and allowed for us to see what the colors were before getting up there, so we wouldn't have to play with it for 20 minutes to find out what color we wanted. She also talked to us about how they last, and she let us rub it. Like, we rubbed her hand like this, and it didn't budge. Not even like a smeared a little bit, but it was still there. No, it did not budge. And I said to her, I was like, oh my god, how do you even get it off? She goes, it takes some doing. She even claimed that she went 3 days with the same penciled in eyebrows. She was like, I put it on one day and it lasted 3 days and I didn't have to touch it up. Oh my god. If that's legit, because then you're saving so much money on not having to use your product as much. That's awesome. She also explained to us that their synthetic brush that they specifically make for the brow dip was the best thing ever for it, and it's made from something synthetic, and it's supposed to mimic goat hair, and it has a specific structure and architect to it. And yeah, so when we finally got to the front of the line, we bought our brow dips, we bought our contour palettes, we bought our, what else did I get? I got something else. Oh, I got the pencil, the highlighting pencil and glitter. And we forgot, and they didn't ask, they didn't remind us, hey, do you want the brush that goes with the brow dip? They didn't say anything to us. So when we got back to the room and we were all excited showing each other, oh my god, do you remember when we bought this like 10 minutes ago? And we're like, oh shit, the brushes. We never got the brushes. So we're like, okay, tomorrow we'll get in line and we'll get the brushes. Well, tomorrow came. It's This time we decided that we were not going to wait until until 10 o'clock to get there. We decided to get up at 6. Again, I'm on one. No, I didn't go to bed. Nah. Yeah, that was fun. I never went to bed. And I just kind of made myself push through. I was feeling kind of, and I decided, you're going to do it, so get up. So I got up, and I started getting ready, makeup and everything, and I said, today's Sunday. What are the chances, in my mind, mind you, I'm doing my makeup and I'm thinking, it's Sunday. What are the chances that just like any other place on a Sunday, that it opens later and closes earlier? So I looked it up, and sure enough, it didn't open till 10. And here I am on no sleep, doing my makeup at 6:08 in the morning. Oh my God, I was so pissed. I could have actually slept. So I reset my alarm for 8, and I slept for 2 hours. And we made it there right as, like, everybody was making it there, and the line was wrapped all the way down to residential area. And as we're getting out of our shuttle, the people that were standing in the line overheard us asking if we had to stand in line because we had the passes. They're like, yeah, you still have to stand in line. So we're like, okay. So we get in the line. I sent Marisol to the Starbucks that's right next to the convention center, and I stayed in line for us. About 30 minutes later, we're actually at the front, and we're right there walking into IMATS. And as we're walking in, we hear one of the ladies that's directing traffic. She's like, you guys didn't have to wait in line. You guys have your wristbands. You could have walked right in. Kill yourself. We were standing outside, and it was freaking... Anyway, it was so annoying, but we learned, and whatever. So we walked in with our drinks, and we charged the day. First thing we did was ran to Anastasia. I walk up, and we stand in line. I took a picture with a follower on Instagram, Ashley, and then we got to the front of the line and said, hi, we need 2 brushes, please, for the dip brow. And they're like, oh, yeah. They're sold out as of yesterday. I was like, but we just waited in a half an hour long line. But, so that was disappointing. And yeah. Other than that, made it to Sugar Pill to get my neon pigments. I made it to... God, what was that place called? Oh, Eye Candy. Let me tell you that story. Their stuff is amazing, but the packaging, I don't know so much about. So I'll be doing the haul, and I'll be talking about that in the haul. As a whole, overall, IMATS was awesome. I definitely want to do it again. This time prepared because I know what's coming, and I want to dress more appropriately. I definitely want to dress comfortably. The second day, I wore like a little sweatshirt and some tight jeans and some nice boots, and I was super happy. So much happier than the first day wearing a dress and a big tote and all this crazy stuff. I wish I would have actually stopped one person. I saw X Sparkage walking around, and she was with 2 other people, and when I turned around and saw her face, she was like confused. Like, I don't know if she was lost or what. She just looked very confused, and she was holding her belly, like her baby bump, which is adorable baby bump, and she just kind of like looked flustered. I didn't want to disturb her. I didn't want to be like, hey, I want a picture with you in the middle of all of this, you know? But it was the only regret that I had of the weekend, because Leisha, X Sparkage, is the person that, I know everybody has that person, but she was my person that got me started doing the YouTube videos. She's the reason why I even knew that it existed. I did not know that you could find makeup videos on YouTube 5 years ago. I had no idea. And she's the reason that I started doing it and why I fell in love with it. The whole thing, as being a makeup artist, seeing what she was doing and having fun with it, I wanted to do something similar to it. And I just wish that I would have gotten a picture with her. And this is really, really, really sad that I'm like really disappointed over not taking a picture with this one person. But that was my regret of the weekend, was not taking a picture with the person who made this start for me, you know? Not the end of the world. Hopefully one day, if we bump into each other, it'll happen effortlessly without me having to beg her for a picture because I didn't want to bother her. I'm sure people felt that way about a bunch of people there. I saw Stephanie there. I saw Tiffany D, Makeup by Tiffany D. Nicole Guerrero, I think her last name is. She was at the $1,000,000 Tan booth, which, by the way, was the most annoying booth of all time. I love all of you, and if you were there, happy to meet her, that's great. But holy moly, you guys, like, really killed my night for, like, a good 20 minutes because I'm in the booth right behind $1,000,000 Tan trying to shop and trying to talk business. And and then every 2 seconds there was like the entire convention center, "Wow!" People screaming. And it wasn't because she just walked up. She was already in there taking pictures. But I felt like they were battling between the people at the front of the line with the people at the end of the line to see who could be the loudest. And they just kept going back and forth. They would scream, and then they would scream louder, and then they would scream louder, and then they would scream louder. And it went on for like 4 minutes, and every vendor and every person that was trying to shop, we were all like, what the hell? I thought that since her boyfriend was there, like taking pictures for her and doing stuff for her, I thought he was proposing. Like it was that big a deal. I thought someone died or got shot or someone was being proposed to because the entire place was screaming to the top of their lungs. Majorly annoying. I could not, oh my god, my head was spinning. I didn't have any sleep and I wanted to die after that. So thank you very much. But she was there. Makeup by Camila was there. Dress Your Face on Instagram was there. A bunch of people were there. Shrinkle from Sugar Pill. The owner of Lime Creme, I don't know her name. Queen of Blending was there, but I did not see her. Just a bunch of people. A bunch of people just walking around. And believe it or not, we all missed each other. Like, there was people Instagramming me, like, where are you? And I'm like, I'm here. And then I was like, where are you? And they're like, I'm here. And we, for some reason, did not see each other at all. And it's just very, very overwhelming. I didn't even make it into the part where you do the classes and the lessons to see what's going on. Like, there's a entirely separate building through some double doors that have, like, classes going on. I didn't even see anything in there. I didn't walk in there. So for overall review, the 2-day event, it definitely took 2 days. You could have done it all in one if you're willing to stand in line every single booth that you wanted to stand in line for over an hour. And if you got there at 6 a.m. so that you're being ready to be walked in at 8. Yeah, I mean, you could have done it in one, but it would have been really stressful. So next year I'm definitely going to do the 2 again, 2 days. I'm hoping that I can do the pro day first because I hope that it's a little bit less intense. Just so I can get all my good stuff that I want. And then the next day, be there to kind of just like do extra stuff. And hopefully the people that want to meet me and I want to meet them. Stuff like that. But the budget, it flew out the window. $500 did not stick. I probably was maybe 800, maybe 9. I don't know. But that's it. This video is so long and you guys must have turned it off already. But for those of you who made it to the end, as a matter of fact, I want to see this. For those of you who made it to the end, I want you to comment me below, please, and put, what word? What word? Let's do IMATS. Just write the word IMATS in the comments. I want to know how many of you actually watched from beginning to end this entire video. Anyways, I love all of you as usual. I love you all. Kisses. I wish I could just... I love you all. If you have any questions about IMATS or if you want more, I guess, advice for IMATS for next year, we can do that right before IMATS of next year. Yeah, that's it. I love you guys, and I really hope that I see and meet you guys next year if you guys go. And if you're gonna go, please let me know. And if you want to meet me or talk to me, please do so. There was 2 people that commented me on Instagram. They're like, I didn't want to bother you. I saw you in line. And I was like, why? I tell you guys this all the time. If you really truly follow me on Instagram or on YouTube or on Twitter, you hear me say it all the time. I love meeting you guys. Do not feel bad. Come to me. Talk to me. I want to meet you too. I love meeting the people that love the things that I love. That's awesome. So, I love you. big kisses, and I will talk to all of you soon. Bye.